Hi students, welcome back. In the previous class, under locomotion and movement chapter, we finished the first part, muscular system, skeletal muscles, how the skeletal muscle contracts, what are the events that takes place during muscle contraction that we studied. Then coming to second part, skeletal system. The skeletal system along with the muscles that forms leverine mechanism that only makes all sorts of movements possible. Movements of body parts and locomotory movements, all that are possible because of leverine mechanism that includes skeletal system and muscular system along with tendon, which is a part of connective tissue. Then coming to skeletal system of human beings, here exoskeleton and endoskeleton. Do we have exoskeleton? Exoskeleton and endoskeleton. This hair, nails, this forms exoskeleton. Exoskeleton is ectodermal in origin. Endoskeleton in majority of organisms in human also mostly made up of bones and also partly cartilages. Both are type of connective tissues, and that's why endoskeleton is mesodermal in origin. Exoskeleton is ectodermal in origin. Hair, nails forms the exoskeleton. Coming to endoskeleton, in adults, in human beings, the endoskeleton is made up of 206 bones. Endoskeleton includes two parts, axial skeleton and appendicular skeleton, but most of the bones are present in the appendicular skeleton. Appendicular skeleton is with 126 bones. Axial skeleton is with only 80 bones. What is the appendicular skeleton and axial skeleton? These are the appendages, forelimbs and hindlimbs. The part of the skeleton which supports the appendages, that is called our appendicular skeleton. That includes girdles, pectoral girdle and pelvic girdle, and limb bones, forelimb bones and hindlimb bones. These two are the parts of the appendicular skeleton. Then what is axial skeleton? Which lies along the median axis of the body. That is called our axial skeleton. This axial skeleton includes skull, then sternum, then vertebral column, then ribs. These four are the parts of axial skeleton: skull, sternum, vertebral column and ribs. The endoskeleton of head region is called as skull. This skull includes again two parts. What are the two parts of the skull? Cranium, and remaining bones of the head are called what? Facial bones. They are 14 in number. What is cranium? Part of the skull which encloses the brain, which is also called our brain box. That is called our cranium. This part is called as cranium. If you go to our human picture, here a brain present. This part of the cranium skull which is enclosing the brain, that is called our cranium. This cranium is with 8 bones. Cranium is with how many bones? 8. This part, it is a frontal bone. Roof of the cranium is formed by 2 parietal bones. This bone is called as frontal. This roof is from 2 parietal, and posterior back is formed by temporal bone. Occipital bone. occipital bone. Two lateral sides of the cranium that are formed by temporal bone. Then roof, front part, lateral part, anterior, posterior. Then coming to floor of the cranium is formed by what are the bones that forms this? That is what? Sphenoid bone, ethmoid bone that forms. The sphenoid bone is the keystone bone. Sphenoid bone is the what? Keystone bone in the cranium. Like in this parietals, occipital, temporal, ethmoid, sphenoid bones are the parts of the cranium. This occipital bone, it invaginates to inside and partly forms the floor also. This occipital bone only consists of wide opening called as foramen magnum. Through this foramen magnum only medulla oblongata extends out and continues as spinal cord. Cranium is with 8 bones. Cranium also called as what? Brain box. Here a mammalian cranium can be easily distinguished from the cranium of other vertebrates. In a mammalian cranium, between the cranial bones, sutures are present. What are present? Sutures. Between the bones, like all the sutures are present. By these sutures, you can identify a mammalian cranium. The suture which is present between the frontal and parietal bone, this suture is called our coronal suture. Here between the parietal and occipital called as what? Lomboid suture. Similarly, sagittal sutures, all sutures are present. By seeing that sutures, we can identify a mammalian cranium. Then coming to remaining are facial bones. Take your face only as example. 14 facial bones are present. These cheeks are with what? Zygomatic bones, 2 in number. Zygomatic bones, they are 2 in number. Next, beneath the orbits, lacrimals are present. They are also 2. Next, these jaw bones are connected to cranium by means of palatine bones. They are also 2. Next, nasal chambers with what? A pair of nasals, that also 2. Palatines also 2. Vomer bone that forms the floor of nasal chambers. How many total? 4, 6, 8, 9. Next, lacrimals are also 2. Next, lower jaw, it is almost U-shaped bone which is called as mandibular. It is the strongest bone. Muscles associated with lower jaw called masseter muscles. They are the strongest muscles. It is only 1. Then upper jaw, each half of the upper jaw is made up of maxilla bone. They are also 2. Next, in each nasal chamber, coiled bones are present, which are called as conchae. They are also 2. Like in this way, conchae, maxillae, zygomatic, lacrimals, palatines, nasals, vomer, and mandibular. Some are only one present, they are unpaired, like vomer, mandible, and remaining are paired. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 into 2, 12, 13, 14. Total 14 bones are facial bones. In addition to this, in the head region, on the floor of buccal cavity, supporting the tongue, hyoid apparatus present. Hyoid bone is present. Next, in the middle ear also, a chain of 3 bones are present. What are the chain of three bones in the middle ear? This is a tympanum. First comes what? Malleus, then incus, then what? Incus and stapes. These are also movable bones. These are also movable. First one is called as malleus, which is modified articulate of lower jaw, which is hammer shaped, mallet shaped, and incus is the second one, which is a modified quadrate of upper jaw, which is anvil shaped. Stapes, which is the smallest bone in our body, it is modified hyomandibular. Modified hyomandibular, a second visceral arch of fishes. Second visceral arch of fishes. Each middle ear, a chain of three ossicles present. This side three, this side three. Malleus, incus, stapes. Malleus, incus, stapes. That is about what? Skull. Then coming to the sternum. Sternum, it lies mid-ventrally. Sternum, it lies mid-ventrally in the thoracic region. The sternum only provides the articulating surface, articulating for surface for some ribs and thoracic muscles and abdominal muscles. Where the sternum is lying? Mid-ventrally in the thoracic region. Mid-ventrally. Mid-ventrally. Proximal part of the sternum is called as manubrium, and it is called about xiphoid sternum, distal part. This middle called about body of sternum. Body of sternum, which consists five parts, called as sternabrae. Called as sternabrae. A single rod-like bone lying in the mid-ventral thoracic region, providing articulating surface for ribs, abdominal muscles and thoracic muscles. Consists what? Manubrium, body of sternum, xiphoid sternum. Then coming to next part, vertebral column. It lies mid-dorsally. It lies mid-dorsally, which through the neural canal of vertebral column only the spinal cord passes. As cranium is to brain, vertebral column is to spinal cord. Vertebral column is to spinal cord. In human beings, the vertebral column, it is made up of several irregular shaped bones, which are called as vertebrae. Vertebrae. In adults, 26 vertebrae are present. In adults, 26 vertebrae are present, but whereas in embryonic stage, 31. This we will discuss again. These 26 vertebrae, which are present in the neck region, they are called as cervical vertebra. 7 in number. And which are present in the thoracic region, they are thoracic vertebra. They are 12 in number. 12 pairs, 7 pairs. 7, 12. Then coming to what? Lumbar vertebra, they are 5. Then sacrum, it is formed by the fusion of 4 sacral vertebra. Then reduced tailbone called as coccyx. It is formed by the fusion of 5 caudal vertebra. That's why in embryonic stage 31. Here, but in the sacral vertebra fuses to form sacrum. Caudal vertebra fuses to form what? A reduced tailbone called what? Coccyx or coccygeal bone. Here, compared to all vertebra, this thoracic vertebra, lumbar vertebra, sacral vertebra, coccyx, caudal vertebra, they differ from mammalian species to species, but cervical vertebra remains constant except 1 or 2 exceptions. In majority of mammals, the cervical vertebra are 7 only, whether that may be the neck of giraffe or neck of us. Cervical vertebra number is 7 only. Then each vertebra consists central body. What are the parts of the each vertebra? Central body called as centrum. Centrum. And centrum encloses a cavity through which the spinal cord passes, that is called as neural canal. That is called as neural canal. Vertebra consists elongated structures originating from centrum that are called what? Transverse processes. That are called as transverse processes. Then for articulating with one another at the anterior face and posterior face, the vertebra consists articulating facets called as zygapophyses. Zygapophyses, which are present at anterior face, they are called pre-zygapophyses, post-zygapophyses. Pre-zygapophyses of one vertebra articulates with the post-zygapophyses of its previous one. There a gliding joint forms. In addition to this, what? Neural arch, neural spine, metapophyses, hypophyses, other structures. But mainly centrum, neural canal, neural arch, neural spine, transverse processes, pre-zygapophyses and post-zygapophyses, these are present. Total in adults 26 vertebrae present. Of that, 7 are in the neck region, cervical, 12 are thoracic, 5 are lumbar, 1 fused sacrum and a coccygeal vertebra. Then coming to ribs. Then coming to what? Ribs. 12 pairs of ribs are present in human beings. 12 pairs. They extend from dorsal to ventral side. Dorsal to ventral side forms a rib cage and protects the lungs and heart. Lungs and heart. Here how many 12 pairs? 12 pairs are present. On dorsal half of each rib, is bony, but whereas ventral half of each rib is cartilaginous. That is called as costal cartilage. On dorsal side, all 12 pairs of vertebra articulates with vertebral column. Here in mammals, in human beings, the ribs are bicephalic. What is the meaning of bicephalic? On dorsal side, where they are articulating to the vertebra, they are forked with two heads. They articulate with the vertebra. First head by which they are attaching to the centrum part of the vertebra, that is called as capitulum. Second head is called as tuberculum. These are called as cephalic heads. This type of ribs are called as bicephalic ribs. On the dorsal side, where they are articulating to vertebra, there they are forked and articulating to both centrum and transverse process by capitulum and tuberculum. If single-headed ribs means what? This tuberculum absent. Here the double-headed ribs are bicephalic ribs. All 12 pairs of ribs on dorsal side articulates with the vertebral column. But on ventral side, few ribs articulates with sternum, few to previous rib, and few neither they are attached to the sternum nor to the previous rib. Based on that, ribs are 3 types. Vertebrosternal ribs, they only true ribs. Then vertebrochondral ribs. Then only vertebral ribs. Here what are vertebrosternal ribs? On dorsal side they articulates with vertebral column, Ventral side they articulates with what? Sternum. They articulates with what? Sternum. They have only two ribs. They articulate by cartilage joints. First 7 pairs of ribs are true ribs. They are vertebrosternal. How many pairs? First 7 pairs are true ribs. Then coming to 8th, 9th, 10th ribs in us. They articulate the cartilaginous portion of 7th rib. They articulate with the cartilaginous portion of 7th rib. They are called as vertebrochondral. They are called as what? Vertebrochondral. 11th and 12th pairs, they neither articulates with the sternum nor with previous rib. Previous rib, they are only vertebral. But all these 5 pairs which are not articulated to the sternum, they are false ribs only. Only first 7 pairs of ribs are true ribs. First 7 pairs are true. And 8th, 9th, 10th are, they are false ribs as well as vertebrochondral, because they are articulated the cartilaginous portion of 7th rib. And the 11th, 12th, they neither articulated to the sternum nor to the previous rib. Yes. Based on this, ribs are how many types? Vertebrosternal, vertebrochondral and vertebral. Vertebral. 3 types are present. This is about what? Axial skeleton. About axial skeleton. Then coming to appendicular skeleton. Just now we discussed. Appendicular skeleton is part of the skeletal elements which give support to our appendages, forelimbs and hind limbs. That includes girdles. That includes girdles and limb bones. Girdles and limb bones. Girdles are pectoral girdle and pelvic girdle. Pectoral girdle is the thoracic region which is giving support to forelimbs. Pelvic girdle in the pelvic region giving support to hind limbs. In lower vertebrae, pectoral girdle consists 3 bones: coracoid bone, clavicle bone and scapula. But in case of human beings, the coracoid bone is reduced. The scapula bone is well developed. Scapula bone is developed. It is almost pear-shaped, triangular, broad anteriorly, narrow posteriorly. Narrow posteriorly. Extending from which rib to which rib, which vertebra, 3rd vertebra to 7th, that is well known to you. This is scapula. And scapula, on the scapula, the coracoid is represented as coracoid spine. Coracoid spine. This is the scapula bone represented by the coracoid is represented by coracoid spine. Beneath that, a cup-shaped depression present, that is called as glenoid cavity. That is called as glenoid cavity. Into that head of the humerus fits. This coracoid spine extends out as a acromion process. Extends out as a what? Acromion process. Here coracoid bone is reduced, only the scapula and clavicle are well developed. Scapula well developed. Then coming to clavicle, which is also called a collar bone. It shows 2 curves. One side attaches to the acromion process, another side to the manubrium part of sternum. In this way, appendicular skeleton and axial skeleton are connected. Sternum is a part of axial skeleton. Pectoral girdle is a part of appendicular. Here clavicle is connecting the appendicular and axial skeleton. It is also called a collar bone. Next, into the glenoid cavity of this head of humerus fits. And forms a ball and socket joint. Again, this we will discuss. Then coming to pelvic girdle, it is a U-shaped girdle like this. It shows two identical halves. It shows what? Two identical halves. Two identical halves like this. Each half of the pelvic girdle is called as coxal bone. Each half is called as coxal bone. But in embryonic stage, each half is formed by fusion of three bones. This is called a what? Iliac bone. On ventral side, ischium. On ventral side, what? Ischium and pubis. Dorsal side, complete anterior dorsal and anterior ventral part is formed by the iliac bones, two iliac bones, and posterior dorsal part is formed by ischium, posterior ventral part is formed by pubis. Into the groove present between the two coxal bones, the sacrum and the coccyx extends like this. Means one more connection. Sacrum is the part of axial skeleton, and the pelvic girdle part of appendicular skeleton. Each coxal bone encloses a cavity called as obturator foramen. That is called what? Obturator foramen. Next, at the junction of this ilium, ischium, pubis, cup-like depression present called what? Acetabulum, into which the head of femur fits. And ball and socket joint forms. On ventral side, the two pubic bones of either side are joined by pubic symphysis.